really you've got to ask yourself, do I want to stick with compliance, lots of small clients, and difficulty recruiting experienced team members, or do I want to change the role I play at work and the sort of work that I do? Things aren't going to change unless you, the practitioner, think carefully and decide, yes, I'm going to take some actions to attempt to do this type of work, and I'm happy to let some of my compliance clients go if necessary to create the capacity to do so. Now, I've got two firms that are doing this and have been doing it for a number of years now. The first one's a medium-sized firm, let's say 5 partners, 40 team members. They've set up a senior leadership team, so there's a group of 12 of them, and they've all decided to specialise in a different sector of business advisory work, Peter. One of them is very skilled at facilitating strategic planning. Another one does government grants. A couple of them have looked at utilising various budgeting tools. Some of the scenario. What's the brand name of the one that you've been looking at?
Plan Guru.
Plan Guru, that sort of thing. Some of them have decided to specialise in certain industry sectors. So, this firm's a regional firm. It's a wealthy and successful agricultural area. A number of their clients are vertically integrating their businesses. Growing. They might have livestock, but they might also be growing grains and feed, and lucerne and things like that. And then they're probably also transporting, and they've got administration, so they might have 5 or 6 profit centres in a $30 million turnover agricultural business. So what we've done in this firm is people with different interests have said, I'm going to be responsible for that. What we then do is all of the senior leadership team members have a client list, and as they identify needs with their clients, they refer them to their colleagues. So we're team servicing our clients. It's not a situation where people are in bunkers and these are my clients and I'll look after them and you keep away. They've also brought in a policy of no clients below $5,000 because they want to have a deeper involvement with their better clients. They sold off their smaller clients to a couple of new, younger accountants and used the capital to invest in developing skills and buying various tools and doing some training. They offer all their clients an external CFO involvement, but interestingly enough, marketing and sales and I guess looking at digitization and information technology, it's all been outsourced to specialists. They don't try and do any of that. They'll look at accounting systems and bookkeeping only and payroll systems. The rest, they've said, no, we won't pretend to do that. Now and that would be one of the most profitable regional firms I've come across in 45 years.
Right.
Another firm doing this is a solo practitioner with 4 team members, some of them working part-time. She said, I'd like to be involved in the external CFO role, and has probably a dozen clients that she's doing this with, and consequently doesn't have the capacity to do much tax advisory or compliance work. That's handled by her 4 team members, and they've brought a policy in that said no new clients because we have more than enough work to do. They do have some clients that they may lose due to them retiring and selling their businesses. So they will look at new clients, but based on the client being receptive to the external CFO role, some of the clients have since employed their own internal accountants, and the external accountant has let the preparation of budgets and the reporting function be taken on board inside these bigger clients because they can afford them, but they still sit on the advisory board and help facilitate the annual strategic review and then probably quarterly reviews of business improvement progress. So it's really a matter of thinking through what role do I want to play. If you can't employ enough, if you can't recruit enough experienced team members to help you, maybe you've got to give away some of what you're currently doing in order to develop this specialty.
Andrew, if we remember back to the webinar we watched last year with Adam Hale, the American accountant from Summit.
The virtual CFO offering.
Yeah,
yes.
That's right, the virtual CFO offering. He made the comment that his firm, which had been primarily a tax return preparation firm,
Yep.
now will not accept tax return only clients.
Yes.
They must be offering the virtual CFO service.
Yes.
And I think he said about a 90% uptake on that. They lost a few, but
Yep.
they were probably the very small ones in any case. And
Yes.
he's claimed that's been a very successful policy. And his employed accountants or contracted accountants are very happy. They've got interesting and challenging work to work on.
Well, that's right. And quite often you have less small work going through, so it's less of a factory with lots of deadline pressure. And if you can lift your prices because you're delivering greater value, you then can take some of the throughput pressure, getting jobs done out of the office and allow team members. For example, in the larger regional firm, young graduates when they arrive always sit next to, for a period of time, one of the directors or seniors and learn what they're doing. So we're encouraging them from, apart from, they might work in the bookkeeping department, they might work in basic tax prep, but they'll always be involved in looking at some of the other specialties and getting a feel for it and thinking through where would I like to go and what would I like to do. So we're encouraging them from the word go in our internal culture that you've don't just think about accounting and tax. We want you to be more commercial and understand business. So we'll take them out when we might visit a client. We had a strategic meeting of the senior leadership group, and on our way home we visited one of the major agricultural clients who were delighted to host 12 of us and show us their 5 profit centres. And we're talking a $40 million turnover operation, livestock and growing feed and transporting, etc. So again, it's thinking about if you want to move away from just accounting and tax and compliance, do you have to give some of it away in order to get the capacity to, if you like, vertically integrate and deepen your relationship with your clients and play a different role? So,
Andrew, that client that with the 5 divisions with 40 million turnover, they receiving separate financial accounts for each of those 5 divisions?
Oh yes, we're doing internal transfer pricing. So we might grow grain to feed livestock, but we want to know that's running profitably.
That's right.
And there's an internal transfer price based on what we get if we sell. Well, we do sell some of it externally as well.
Yeah, and I presume there's key performance indicators or ratios also being prepared for each of those 5 activities.
Yes, well, we want to know the costs of production of grain, and we want to know the yields per acre. So we're looking at that and looking at the trends over time. Of course, seasonality comes into agriculture, and you have bumper years and terrible years, so you've got to interpret it. But yes, it's and then we do that internally in the accounting practice as well. Again, I mentioned earlier using some of the programs such as Power BI, there it is there. Well, we've used that linked into our job costing system. I can walk up to any team member and go, how many hours have you worked this month?